Hey guys, how are you all doing? So today I'm gonna be breaking down my song Pakeezah in terms of the production, and yeah, let's straight away dive into it. So this is how the session looks. So we have 8 buses right now. The first one is keys and pads. Then we have the other instrument buses, which has bells and banjos and horns and all sorts of instruments. Then we have the flute bus because we have quite a bit of flute in this song, bassuri to be specific. Then we have the drum bus, of course. A lot of elements in the drum bus. I will go into all of these in depth and break it down for you guys. Then comes the bass. We have used 3 kinds of basses in this. Then we have the string sections, quite a bit of strings used specifically in the interludes and the second verse. Then, of course, the amazing vocals from Ishaan, and we have the chorus vocals as well, which we've recorded with 4 different singers, so I'll go into those very soon. And finally the effects, just a few effects here and there just to create an ambience for transitions, etc. So let's start with I think the essence of the song, which is basically the keys and pads, because it starts from the keys. So the first element is a mellow arp, which is sort of the backbone of the whole composition, because me and Ishaan both really enjoyed this element across the song, because it fills up the space pretty well and it is very beautiful and soft. So this is how it sounds like. It's sort of a bridge to all of the melodies and the different ear candies that we've put. This is the one that is holding everything together. Then of course we have the Rhodes. So I love using EPs because I'm a keys player myself, so I have a lot of piano compositions, a lot of arpeggios here and there, which fills up the space. So this is the Rhodes. So there are only like 2 or 3 chords that are going around in this whole song, which is quite a testament, because I really can't believe I've used such minimal chords, because I generally tend to use a lot of different chords, at least like change it up in the next few verses or the bridge, but this somewhat stays in that same zone, and I like that about this one. The Rhodes is also panned slightly to the right, as you can hear. With the mellow arp, it sounds very wide, which is what I love about the intro as well, because that Rhodes has to sound like it's covering up the whole space. You're in that zone. The next element is the arp. Kyan, who's done the additional production for this, he has done an amazing job with this particular sound, because I hadn't added this sound in the original production that I did. So he helped a lot with the additional production in this one, and I think this sounds really beautiful. Yeah, then we have an EP. I think it's just a stab to increase the weight of the Rhodes. Yeah. So this is how the keys sound. So with this, I thought generally keys and EPs are in that mid range, and I wasn't really covering the higher range. So I wanted to introduce a lot of the frequency range in the intro itself, and I did that with the bells in the intro. So this is the one in the right, and I have one on the left. So together the bells sound something like this. and I think I have added banjo hits with that. The instrument bus and the keys and pads together sound something like this. So it sounds very beautiful, but what is missing is we have the flute, the basuri, which is the backbone of the song again. It's the intro. It plays across the chorus in all the important sections of the song. We have the basuri, and this is a very beautiful piece. So the other flute that you can see below is a duplicate of the original one, and this I have pitched it up 12 semitones, which is an octave, and I've added an auto pan to it and increased the rate a lot. So it goes constantly in that LFO motion. Individually it sounds something like this, and together it sounds like this. It has that the weight and the clarity that basuri generally doesn't have in this octave. So yeah, I think it gave a beautiful feeling to it. And I think in the intro we have a few FXs here and there. I'll just play the group once. So we have an ambient sound here, which is basically a bell. I think I found this in one of the plugins, and it had these weird bells plus keys plus yeah, it's really an Atmos FX here. And then we have like stream and birds. I think it was just a sample I found on Splice. It's very low in the level, so you can't really hear it, but you still know that there is something going on, something foresty, something very natural going on in the background. And we have the chime transitions, which I love. In an Indian semi-classical indie song, you have to add chimes because it really embellishes all the transition points. And I have a water drop effect here. Yeah, it's also reverbed a lot. It just adds to the atmos a lot. And of course, there is one element missing, which is the bass. And I love the bass. So it's an acoustic bass, but you can see it has a little bit of the buzz, and I really like it. It really does not bother me. So the bass is a very important element in the intro. Generally you hear songs and people don't have basses in their intros because they want to introduce that sort of an energy in the chorus or in the pre-chorus. But I really love adding a bass right in the intro. It really gets you into the song quickly. Everything together, the intro sounds something like this. I'll go to the next section, which is the verse. The verse has to continue from the intro very smoothly, so I have maintained most of the elements I had in the intro into the verse as well. This is what it sounds like overall. So yeah, pretty much the same in the verse. I think Ishaan has beautifully got his voice into it. कोई नसीहत या सौदे बेगाने. So it sounds very angelic, very soft. It gets right into the track beautifully. So let's go into the chorus at the moment, because that's where the drums come in, and I really want to show you guys how I have produced the drums. So let's go to the chorus directly. So I think the most important section here is probably the drums. So I will get into the drums. So this is how the drums overall look. So I have three sections in the drums. One is a general section where a lot of the elements are there. The next is the tabla bus, which has tabla elements, a little bit of dholak elements towards the end. But let's go to the first chorus at the moment. And we have the shakers. I have a lot of shakers in this, just to get the track moving, get the groove also moving a lot. So yeah, the shakers are very important because it has that repetitive recurring motion that is needed for these kinds of songs. And you also need elements and ear candies that break the monotony in between. So yeah, let's dive into the drums with, I think, let's go to the kick first. We have a very, very fat kick here. So instead of a snare, I have used a clap here. So the kick and the clap sound something like this together. I didn't want to use a snare here because I thought the snare just won't suit this kind of a song. I wanted an acoustic snare initially. I think if I play you the older versions, it'll sound very, very different, and I'll definitely release that version because it has my vocals in it as well. But I think these claps are beautiful. It's a very tight clap. It has a very long reverb as well, as you can hear it. The clap goes until the next element comes in, so it's beautiful. And I have snaps with it, which sound like. So these snaps are really like a 4x4. The snaps just keep ticking constantly, and I think it adds a good flavor. Then we have jangles. I really like jangles because it gives you that Indianness in the drums you need. Yeah, it's a beautiful hit. It also acts as a transition point. So every first hit I have a jangle here, and then we have the clav. I think the clav is right before the chorus hits. Tick tick tick. So yeah, the clavs are just fillers. And then I have a perk and shaker loop. So this has a few elements in it. I think I found it on Splice. I think it sounds beautiful. And it's also panned heavily to the left. I like that about it. There's a cymbal transition here right when the chorus hits. So all of these elements together sound something like this. So it's a very dynamic loop, a lot of things happening constantly. At the same time, it has so much of space for other elements as well. So coming into the tabla bus, it sounds something like this. I'll play right before the chorus. So this is really, adding on top of the layer that we had at the moment. The hand clap acts as the primary snare in this scenario, but with the tabla, it sounds something like this. The groove is really moving. It gives a nice, different, unique hit to it because it's not something you regularly hear. I have just chopped off a lot of these tabla elements. Yeah, this is what it sounds like at the moment. I really like it. And then we have the shaker bus. I think I have one loop that is at the center, and then one is on the left and one is on the right. Three of them together sound something like this. This is the drum section for the chorus, and it sounds something like this. This is the essential element for the song, for the chorus that I'm hitting, because I don't have any extra instruments in these sections. I have the same Rhodes playing, the keys playing, the pads playing. This is how the chorus sounds like overall.
Pakeezah सा है इश्क पर